Welcome to the Mostly All Figured Out podcast with your host, Emily Rose. Regardless of the career field, the lifestyle, everyone is mostly figuring it all out. This podcast is where we pull back the veil of perfection and share true stories, experiences, encouragement, and of course failures, detailing how people just like you are making it all happen, despite the uncertainty, the fear, the imposter syndrome, the setbacks, the shame, whatever it is. If you believe there is more for you than what your life looks like right now, you're in the right place. Let's figure out our next steps together. Now let's get into the episode.
My mother howls and I was in like Erie County Choir growing up.
Your mother?
No, I was.
Uh-huh.
And I just have like nodules and I feel like I've become tone deaf after having Jackson.
Jackson ruined it for you.
Ruined it.
Well, I guess I'll do this jingle by myself then.
Yeah. I mean, I'll snap for you if you want. But
Okay, yeah. Can you give me a beat?
yeah. Oh, God. You're going to make me make one up?
Here we go. It's the mostly all figured out podcast. Hey! Welcome to the Mostly All Figured Out podcast. This is your host, Emily Louie, and I'm going to tell you about this snapping person next to me. So today on the podcast, we finally have a friend from my days of serving at Carrabba's Italian Grille.
Yay.
Working in the service industry truly is something that I think everyone should do. A big reason, of course, is because as guests, we should all know what it's like to serve. But also, I had a great time when I worked there. Those were some of the best years.
Yeah,
you know?
I have family that came out of that experience.
Same. My, Victoria is Jackson's godmother. Yeah. Carlin and I still see each other and chat all the time. Like,
this baby's gorgeous.
I know, she's so beautiful.
Beautiful. Shout out to Carlin's baby.
Shout out to Carlin's baby. What's her name?
Joy. Yes.
Joy, that's right. Oh, she's so sweet. Okay, so anyways, this human has, as long as I've known her, had serious mom vibes. In that she radiated both love and I got you, and also I got eyes in the back of my head, so trust and believe. I know I'm done. She currently holds the titles wife, mom, and chef, as she is currently Culinary Arts Coordinator at Community Services for Everyone. Is that correct?
Yes,
that's the correct title?
That is correct.
Which I'm very excited to get into. So please welcome Meredith Schork.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm so proud of you for doing this.
Thank you for being like my biggest fan, honestly.
One of my favorite moments is driving to work on Friday listening to what you've put out.
Oh my God.
And home, because normally it's a short drive, so.
That makes me feel so special. Thank you.
It's like my Friday vibe. It's my jam.
I love it.
My coffee and a little mostly all figured out.
Oh, I need a coffee so bad right now. Okay, we'll get there, Emily. So let's talk about community services for everyone, because I had never heard of this until I started seeing you posting like videos of cooking and baking and stuff. So tell me what this organization is and then what you do within it.
They are a non-for-profit who really do help everyone. They switched their name a few years ago. It used to be Community Services for the Developmentally Disabled, but they have branched out so far past that. We work with a lot of DV individuals. We have a new project, the Lyceum at St. John Canty, that's going to focus on affordable apartments, focusing really on DV. We'll have another kitchen there. Awesome. And they do from residential to different day programs, to community rehabilitation, and anything you can imagine that comes from that IDD world. The gentleman that started it, this amazing man, Mark Foley, actually was at People Inc. And then kind of split off with their blessing and started this company.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you said now it's predominantly run by women.
Pretty much all women.
Yeah.
An amazing group of women, all very different, all kind, which is also something I think people are not used to. Like, I can't say one bad thing about any of them. They are just literally, from our CEO and president down, just amazing women to work for.
That's awesome, because especially, nonprofit work can be a grind sometimes. So I have always found that when you enjoy and feel supported by your coworkers, especially the people you report to, it makes all the difference.
I say when I walk into work, I don't feel like I'm going to work with a bunch of coworkers. It is truly like just an extension of family. Every person from every facet of that company will have your back, no matter what, in good and bad. And that's really hard to find and special and unique.
Truly, yeah.
So I feel very blessed that somehow like fell into this.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. How did
Yeah.
you fall into it?
I had left Carrabba's after a very, very, very long time and dipped into some beverage and marketing for another local company who also has an amazing owner, Mike Rizzo. And then I just realized I was done. Like I wasn't being fulfilled, and nothing against that job or that company. I just personally hit a wall in what I was doing in life. And I did something I never thought I would do. I called him and said, I'm done. And he said, we'll talk in a week. Take a week. And I said, okay. And then I took a week and I said, yeah, no.
Still
I need to find something that is giving me a different feeling. I have been in this world since I was 17 years old.
Wow.
And I am just burned out.
Yeah.
So I took a few months off.
Good for you.
And traveled a little bit and cried a little bit and really thought, when was the last time I felt fulfilled in a work capacity? And it was when I was working with different kids in a respite program. And a good friend of mine was working at Community Services and said, come and apply. So, and this is also actually kind of how I met my husband too, ironically. This break in my life led to big changes.
Wow.
So I applied, and it took forever because, background checks and all that fun stuff. And while I was waiting, I started working for a restaurant, just part-time, just to bring in some money, where I ended up meeting my husband. I fell into that thing that I always said, I will never be the person that marries the chef, and I'm the front of the house person.
You did it.
Did it.
You did it.
But that's okay. And I started working there and immediately felt rejuvenated and inspired and excited to go to work. And like I was learning again, which sounds really silly.
No, it sounds awesome.
But like I had gone to school and I'd done all these things and I knew my job and I knew what to do. And it was fun, but it wasn't like I would go to work and say, like, I made a difference today.
Yeah.
And almost every single day in the last almost 8 years, I can say at some point in time in my day, I feel like either myself or my coworkers have definitely 1,000% made a difference in someone's life.
Wow.
And that in itself is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so here we are.
That is really awesome.
Yeah. You don't always hear people able to say this company or this leads me to feel this way. And this program that I'm running now is new. So it wasn't even in this part of the company. But it was just one of those things. I mean, the boss I started off with has since retired and moved to Florida, and I still talk to her, and she's Mama Deb. Shout out to Mama Deb. And every person that I've worked with or have had the pleasure to oversee, like we all keep in contact, and it's just been an extension of family. Almost like how Carrabba's was, which sounds silly.
Yeah.
But there's like Domini,
Yeah.
who is technically my cousin.
Wow.
Yeah, like my mother-in-law and her father are first cousins.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so like it was crazy. I'm like, people are always like, how do you know that person? And 9 out of 10 times it's like, you know what? From Carrabba.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like
it's so true.
this little world that came from working at this restaurant. So
Yeah.
and if they're not Carrabba's, it's from Community Services.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, it just like shows you, like it really puts on display like how important those coworker relationships are, because you see, I think I saw something recently where it was like the people you spend the most time with over your life are your coworkers.
Are your coworkers more than like
your partner, your children, like you day in and day out see these people and interact with these people. So it's I think critical that you feel not only respected and maybe I don't know, and seen by these people, but also inspired by them.
All the time.
Right?
I had a conversation with my boss just 2 days ago, and I said, I used to look at you and her boss, but we don't, it's so weird to say that because everyone kind of works together as a team.
Cool.
I said, and you probably thought, like, this girl's such a creep. Why is she looking at me like that? I said, but I would watch your brains work, and I was so inspired. Like, what are they going to say next? Like, what is the wheel? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And now I kind of can anticipate what they're going to say or what they think.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other people that I've had the luxury of meeting and interacting with where I'm like, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
Like, and it's just so cool to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And also not have someone say, like, why are you a creep looking at me that way? Because I think they kind of realize we're just learning from each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely like creepy stare at my coworkers and
I love it.
try to figure out what they're going to say. and
I
think.
friggin' love that so
Yeah,
much.
super creepy, but in a positive way.
Well, I think that, going back to when you were feeling burnt out from being in the restaurant industry for so long, I think, first of all, I think it's really brave that you were like, I'm taking time off, I'm traveling, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do. Because not everybody has the guts to do that.
It was one of probably the, in retrospect, smartest things I've ever done.
Yeah.
At the time, I was like, ooh, this isn't going to go over well. When I tell people, like, I'm just taking a break from life. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
just going to hang out.
And that's exactly it. It's scary, and you might feel like all different types of way to tell people, like, this is what I'm doing right now. No, I don't have a job. No, I don't have a plan. But I'm taking this time for myself. That's brave.
And it was probably a good 3 months that I let myself really figure out what direction do I want. And I mean, here I am many years later, still not always sure of the direction I want to go in. But I knew that if I didn't take that time for myself, I knew that if you don't do this right now, you are going to make poor decisions moving forward. So you need to make this difficult decision now to stop.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we don't allow ourselves the time, or life doesn't allow us the time to just say, hold on a moment.
Yeah.
Let me regroup.
Yeah.
And come back better.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think there's ever a time that we're just given to do that. We have to take it for ourselves, Yeah. And that is the really hard part is, I think it goes back to, I think I did say this in my Thanksgiving ramble.
I love it.
My Thanksgiving ramble episode, I think I said something to the effect of, like, you really have to believe what you're doing now. Like, if it's something that's hard, that it's going to end in the result that you're looking for.
Yes.
So you had to believe in taking this bet on yourself and allowing yourself rest and time to think and listen to yourself after probably not being able to do that for so long.
So long.
You had to believe that it was worth it and that it was going to result in something great. And how awesome for you that it resulted not only in a major career change that has given you so much more fulfillment, but also your husband. And now you have 2 beautiful children.
Yes. Who are insane and lovable. Because even working there, with the position I was in, restaurants, it's very easy of, I need money, so I'm going to go pick up a shift. The position I was in didn't give me that opportunity, so I kind of really needed to still work in restaurants. And it did not start off that way. It was a friendship. And over time and the right timing ended up becoming something different. And just as I knew with work, I know what I don't want to do anymore, so I'm going to figure out what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I knew that this is the path that I want to go in moving forward. With relationships, I never took ownership of who I wanted to be with. Mm-hmm. I always just felt like I fell into relationships, or I fell into being with different people. And not to say that the people I dated in the past were not good people.
Yeah.
Good people. But I knew what I didn't want. Mm. Which I almost think is more important than knowing what you do want.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to say, I want someone funny and smart and kind. But what about all that other stuff that goes around that? Right. Where if you say, I want someone who thinks outside, or I know I don't want to be with someone who makes these decisions, or who chooses this over this, or maybe speaks in this manner to people that they're close to. And I know that sounds goofy, but I dated someone who I was like, I don't like the way you talk to your friends. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't treat them with respect. Yeah. And my mom always says, dates, what did she used to say? Oh, the date was a waste of mascara. And like she would say, like, oh, that's how she would say she had a bad date. And she said she gave up looking for people and she met my dad. And I kind of did the same thing. I'm going to take a break. I found this awesome career. I'm going to dig into this. I'm going to be by myself. And if that person comes along, cool. And literally months later,
Wow.
I started dating my husband. And I
Wow.
was like, oh, my mom was right. Like when you
Damn
really
it.
kind of focus on yourself and you give up
Right.
looking, that's kind of when it happens.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
so-
powerful.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, let me just pull up my other question here. Oh, let me check. I want to do this too. Obviously, I'm going to cut all this part out. Just want to keep an eye on time. Okay.
Feel free to edit me.
I'm gonna just cut you right out. Just kidding. I'm gonna cut myself out. Okay, so tell me, excuse me. Tell me specifically now what your role is there, because I see your videos of cooking and baking and
Yes.
stuff. So what are you doing over there?
So I started in the community habilitation world, which is helping different individuals some who live in residential sites, but mostly who live independently in the community, stay independent to the highest of their capability. And I was with a couple other people managing a program. And when I first started there, I took this class called Ladders to Leadership, which was an awesome experience. And in doing that was tied to a mentor, who's my current boss, who was starting this project called the Jefferson Career Exploration Center. And they had a culinary suite that they were building. So I got to see this whole process happening. I was like, well, that's fun. Like to give people job skills and independent living skills, like right on site. How cool. And they went to go fulfill the position for someone to run it. And I was like, no, like I can't leave these people. Like someone else is going to run it and do a great job. And then COVID happened. And things kind of got shut down. So November of 2020, no, before then, sorry, October of 2020, like smack in the middle of a global pandemic, my boss came to me and said, this wonderful human being who we thought was running the program is now going to be moving with her husband to Spain, I believe.
Oh, wow.
He got an awesome opportunity and she was going.
Yeah.
And we thought of you immediately. And we don't know why we didn't do this first. And, kind of why did you not apply? And I was like, I don't know. I just didn't, like, I'm here. I'm this is my direction. And said, well, we believe that you have all the skills to make this a successful part of our company. And I said, no. Thank you for the offer. I appreciate you saying that. No, thank you. I'm not leaving all of these people and my team. I love them and I'm not going anywhere. And then I went home and went, idiot. Like literally, like I just turned up this like cool opportunity to start something from the ground up.
Yeah.
In the middle of a global pandemic.
Yeah.
And I'm an idiot. And I can't go back and admit I'm an idiot, so I'm just going to hope that another cool opportunity pops up. And the next day she said, I really want you to think about this. And I said, I did. And it was another hard decision of leaving something to do something else. And I said, I think I want to do it. I think this is a mesh of all these things in my life. I think I have a lot to offer people. So we talked to the team I was currently working with, and with their blessing, I started November of 2020, right in the middle of COVID, a Culinary Arts Suite at Jefferson Career Exploration Center. And we started off with Thanksgiving dinner for 150 people.
Amazing.
It was something the community had done for years, and we were able to do it in a fully certified kitchen. And then about 10 months later, we brought on Chef Steph, who is the manager of the program and is younger than me by quite a bit and teaches me more than a lot of people in my life. She's teaching me to be a better person. She's absolutely incredible, and she ran our after-school program that we had a grant for. So what we do now is we work with different people of all different abilities. Some of them are doing pre-vocational work. Some of them are doing supportive employment. We're giving them true, actual culinary job skill training. We do a Culinary 101 and Beyond program with them. We work with different day habs. We work with our residential individuals. So we really get our hands in the whole company to teach job skills, independent living skills, healthy eating skills, soft skills, hard skills. So we really get to do a lot of super cool things.
Yeah.
And every day I go, how did I end up with this job? That was like the perfect marriage of still kind of having my toes in my previous life,
Yeah.
gently, and then get to do this incredible thing where I still get to work with these amazing humans.
Yeah.
And yeah, every day I'm like, this is so cool. So the videos you're talking about are on our YouTube. And because it was the middle of a pandemic and I literally couldn't see people a lot of the times, we started doing this program called Easy Eats for Everyone and sent kits out to different sites.
Love that.
It's like 3 different kits. So we would do like a heat and eat where you could just cook it and eat it. We would do a kit that was cut and prepared for you, like a prep to prepare, almost like HelloFresh.
Yeah.
And then we would do like, here are just your ingredients. Here's a not turnip, but like here's your vegetables and here's a piece of chicken. And then we would give them a recipe card with a QR code to go to the YouTube site
Love
where
it.
they could walk through a class essentially or a video on how to make whatever they were given. And we kept it open to the public so that anyone could do it and anyone could watch it. We try to make sure we do safety tips. So like I am terrible and store all of my baking sheets in my oven. And I can't tell you
You are
how many
terrible.
times. Awful, right? Like there's no
bad.
so bad. There's no place in my kitchen. But I can't tell you how many times I've been like 350. Oh, those are in there still. I forgot. Like myself. So like we start a video like check your oven before you turn it on. But little tips that people wouldn't think of. So you might watch a cooking video and no one gives you those grab an oven mitt before you grab that because they're professional chefs and they're just grabbing an oven mitt. So we try to break it down to every single thing that you could think of if you're using a knife, be careful and use your knife like this. Or if you don't have a hand mixer, here's how you do this with a whisk. So that anyone could watch the video and make what we're making.
Yeah.
So it's super cool. And we have guest chefs. So we're trying, if you are a chef out there or someone who likes to cook, please let me know.
Yeah.
So we offer guest chef spots for people to come on and cook their favorite meal. Just anyone who wants to kind of share something healthy and positive. It's super fun.
Yeah.
It's just Stephanie and I shooting the video. And then we also teamed up with Buffalo Public Schools. And we have some amazing students that edit our videos.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I am not an editor. I tried really hard, and both my brothers are in TV and movie production and filming, and they're just like, oh, that's not, A+ for trying, E for effort. But so they're like, your videos got so much better. I'm like, oh yeah, no, these kids are doing them. I'm not. I don't.
Right.
I can shoot a really fun Instagram video, but that's like the skill set. So.
That's as far as we
Yeah.
go.
So we're doing all these fun things, and we're always evolving and always trying to grow. And then we'll have the second kitchen at St. John Canty that will hopefully be able to service the community a little bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool, big things coming up in the future, and
Yeah.
it's fun. It literally, I get to walk into work and have fun and cook with people that just want to like, yes,
Yeah.
give me food.
Yeah. Right.
People are like, I love going to Jefferson because they always feed us there.
Yes.
Yeah. You can walk in anytime, Monday through Friday. There's going to be something for you to eat.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Let me get my next question here. Where do you feel like right now primarily your creative energy is focusing on the making of food, or do you crave it other places? Like, are you feeling creatively fulfilled in the work you're doing?
That is such a good question. I did not expect that. Yes, at work, I definitely feel like I'm given a lot of creative freedom. And also, again, from Chef Steph, she follows a couple different dietary things, so I'm getting excited by learning her style. At home, I mean, yes, I do have 2 littles, so sometimes I don't get the opportunity to do some of those extra things. I still do makeup, so I get to do...
Right,
yeah,
that's right.
I did makeup for years, so I still get to be creative with that. Sometimes I need that at-home creativity cup filled, but I think in time I'll get a chance to get back into those things.
Yeah.
And right now I try to focus on giving that creativity vibe to, I mean, Rosalie's only 10 months old, but Jackson, who's 4.
Yeah.
So, getting him Play-Doh, kinetic sand, cooking, like doing those types of things So it fills that way, but sometimes
Yeah.
I'm looking for my own personal creative cup to be a little bit more full.
Yeah, I feel we all are in
Yeah.
that way. Well, I mean, I am here. This is it. For
Yeah,
me.
but this
We're
is
doing it.
amazing.
Yeah. Very lucky. I know also that health has always been very important to you.
Yes.
And I saw you're starting a 21-day keto.
I am.
Yes.
I am jumping on the keto bandwagon.
Have you done it before?
I did it 21 days and lost 12 pounds.
Wow.
So I kind of consumed food in the opposite way of keto. Very turkey bacon, not regular bacon, and everything was very lean and working out. And I love my littles, but they have destroyed my body.
Yeah.
They have changed it
Yeah.
hormonally, everything. So
Yep.
what I was doing wasn't working. And I was using a super green supplement that I loved from this company, and noticed that she had a 21-day keto plan. I said, I can commit to anything for 21 days. Like, I'm strong enough to be able to do that. And it's not about, like, necessarily keto, like, oh, I'm going to eat a cheeseburger for lunch and I'm going to have, another cheeseburger for dinner or wings. It's more about, like, looking at the food that you're eating, putting into your body, and trying to stay away from chemicals and more whole foods, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
So I've been doing a 21-day round on, and then I kind of do what's called like a lazy keto off of it. Sometimes it's hard at work because we're making things that are not.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, we try to stay healthy. And when we do not healthy, we talk a lot about portion control. How you can have something, there's that phrase, eat the donut, but don't eat the dozen. So, eat the donut, but,
Right.
But yeah, so it's been an interesting adventure so far. Every time I do make a cheeseburger, my husband looks at me like, I've never seen you eat, like, ground beef and real bacon. And he's like, what is happening here? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm doing it. I do feel better. I have more energy.
Good.
It's an interesting kind of adventure. So I'm excited to keep on trying it.
Yeah, I did. I think I did keto. Do you know who actually got me on keto was Victoria?
I was about to say, I know she kind of went down that path for a while.
Yes, yeah, she did. And I think it's like with all diets, I think they work. And keto is different, I think, than most other diet situations. Because the way, and I think saying that, I think it depends on how you're looking at it.
Yes.
Like, I know I have friends who have done keto, but they're eating like all the fake sugar stuff and like, that's not really
Commercial keto, I call that.
Commercial
like,
keto.
Oh,
yeah,
this
like
is
the little
keto
protein
friendly
bars and like no. Just eat whole foods.
Yeah.
Just eat whole foods and eat fat. Eat fat.
Good fats.
And this is like, yeah, exactly. But that's the thing is like our society has made us believe that like the lean and the fat free and all of that is what's good for you, but it's really not.
It's not. And I know you were talking about in the last episode autoimmune, and I've had autoimmune, and my mother's has autoimmune. My grandmother, we've all had, different forms of different autoimmune. And I do find that when I follow keto, I'm not as swollen, which is crazy.
100%.
Because I'm saying to myself,
Totally.
and I know you were talking about the gluten and the dairy.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I am eating dairy. Dairy doesn't
Yeah.
really seem to have an effect. It helps my dad cutting out dairy. But I don't want to say I should be gluten-free, but I probably,
I know.
should dive down that path a little bit more. I believe everything in moderation.
That's what
To be honest.
I don't like permanent, okay,
Right.
I'm never going to eat a donut ever again for the rest of my life.
Right, eat the
But
donut.
yes, exactly. But I'm trying now to, like you, just be very conscious of what I'm taking in and allow myself times here and there where I'm having bread, but not have it be 3 meals a day of
Right.
bread being in there.
I thought one of the things you said in last episode was so powerful about saying it took your son possibly being sick for you to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And that hit so incredibly close to home.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, I went for my first mammogram. Get your mammogram if you haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
And had a tiny scare and made a promise to myself because the thought of leaving my kids because of a selfish act kind of really scared me into quitting some behaviors that were not the best.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would have ever done it for myself, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But also, I think that's part of motherhood.
Yeah, I think it's one of the gifts of motherhood, maybe, is it teaches us to value ourselves because our children do so much.
But it hit so close to home. Like, oh yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Would I push as hard to get back into this like healthy lifestyle if I wasn't exhausted running around? Like I just want to have more energy for my kids.
Right.
But is that, they say like what your reason why? Well, obviously, I would love to fit back into my entire closet of clothing that I look at like, hey, that used to fit.
Yeah.
I'll get back into you one day. But I also look at my kids and say, oh my God, like I don't want to be winded running. And I'm not running around the playground, but I don't want to get to that point.
Yeah.
I want to be able to have the energy to do this awesome job and come home and still have that energy going.
Fully, yeah.
And when I notice I don't, then it's kind of like that wake-up call, like, girlfriend, you gotta
check in on yourself.
Check in for a moment here. So I think it's super important, but that definitely hit close to home.
What do you hope, speaking of children, what do you hope your children see and learn from watching you being a working mom and taking care of your health? And what do you hope you're teaching them?
Oh, God. That's another really good question. I hope that they see, from both myself and my husband working, that we would do anything for them. But also that we will take, and again, this comes to being able to work for a company that lets you have a work-family life balance, but that it's okay to also take a step back and focus on these four walls and these people that live in this home. So I hope that they see that we want to do better and always want to help other people, but it needs to start here. And I have a self-admitted terrible relationship with food, and I think I'm projecting that onto my kids. Like, I don't want them to have a bad relationship with it. We're not rewarding with a cookie.
It's so hard. We are the worst for that.
The worst. And my son, if you're like, this is a white chocolate covered Oreo, he's like, yes, mommy. I'll say he says when he likes food, it's refreshing. He says, refreshing means delicious. I said, what do you mean refreshing? He said, yeah, if I say refreshing, it means it's something delicious. I said, is this a new thing at school? He said, I just made it up. Okay. So he'll say, like, that Oreo looks refreshing. Sure, Jackson. Go brush your, go to the bathroom and put on your jammies and you can. And I'm like, oh no, I'm rewarding with food, So, I hope that they love when my husband works out because I like to get on his back if he's doing push-ups. We try to really focus on getting outside and moving our body. We talk about strong bodies, healthy bodies, instead of the physical look of a body. So we really try to make a conscious effort of that. But I hope they just see that you might not always give 100% to every part of your life, but giving as much as you can in the moment is what's important. And I don't know if we give ourselves enough credit for doing that.
Yeah.
Because everyone's always in 1,000 different directions.
Yeah.
Like
it's hard. That's one of the hardest things to do, I think.
It's hard when you're at work and you're like, oh my God, I should be doing this for my kid.
Yep.
And then you're home and you're like, oh my God, I forgot to do this at work.
Yep.
So you always feel like, I'm not giving 100%. My dad always says, you're never going to be 100% at anything. It's about relationships, work, just in general. You want to get the closest percentage that makes you happy. And that looks different for everyone. So if I can be an 80-20 and I know that I give 80%, that's amazing, and 20% I'm like, I'm a work in progress, that's okay. That's good for me. I'm happy with that. That is my 100. Yeah. And I think if people gave themselves that grace and forgiveness and it's okay, people would be a little bit less stressed out, hopefully.
I love that. I'm going to probably make a clip of that and put it on Instagram because that was real good. Dropping bombs over here. All right.
Give it to Richard Shiner. He is a marketing consultant, so his 80-20 is a good good tidbit.
That is a good tidbit. All right, we're going to do rapid fire. If you can believe it, we're already at the rapid fire.
Is that rapid fire?
It is time. Okay.
Don't laugh at me.
You took notes? You're amazing.
I didn't take notes. I just was like, ooh, I know the podcast question is going to come up, and there's a few of them, and I was so like, great. I will know what they are.
You're so great. Okay, healthy habit you always stick to?
Drinking water, I will have to say.
Yes.
And electrolytes, I have been really good. This is not my 64-ounce bottle.
No.
I try to finish it and then do 2 of these a day. The water thing
Nice.
just popped up in the last couple of years. A friend of mine is a water fanatic, and she will, she talks about how water is really, and dehydration is a reason for so many problems. So many problems.
Yeah.
She'll come see me. I'm like, this hurts. And she's like, let me see your hand. She'll like pinch to make sure that I'm not dehydrated.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if you pinch your hand like this and your skin takes a moment to fall, then you know you're dehydrated.
Wow.
Right. And you'll notice like sometimes in the morning, check it in the morning before
Yeah,
you
I
drink
will.
anything.
Yeah.
And then later in the day. So my number one healthy habit is trying to drink more water than coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
stick to
so
that.
good. I am very bad at it. I don't know what's happened to me. I used to be super consistent and really good with drinking water, and now I'm just a nightmare with it. I'm just not good, and I don't know. I'm like, where is it? Where's my water? I know I got it. Oh,
I have like a jug.
yeah.
And people
I
are
need
always
to do
like,
that.
are you thirsty? And I'm like, I am thirsty,
Yeah,
actually.
as a matter
Thank
of
you.
fact.
I'm going to have a sip right now.
I certainly am. And look at me. I'm healthy. I'm glowing.
Look at this.
That's right. That's right.
Don't look at this, really. I'm happy.
No,
with
it's
her.
fantastic.
Not on TV.
So do we. Well, yeah. No one can see it,
I
but
can't lie.
can.
Part of this is Botox, but
Oh, I need to get Botox. That's a healthy habit I
do
want to start.
not at all.
Why?
You have great skin.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, absolutely not. When I get my Botox done, they always say, you have such strong eyebrow muscles. And I was like, deep wrinkles? They're like, we refer to it as strong muscles. Strong
That's
muscles.
hilarious. Yeah, mine are real strong too.
I love how you guys spin that around.
Oh, yeah, that's very smart. Healthy habit you are trying to implement.
Working out again. I definitely am a weirdo and like to lift weights. So like I love that feeling of getting
too.
stronger.
Yeah.
You've probably seen I've done like 30-day challenges where, and I don't post them because I want people to be like, why is she posting her workout? They want you to like have accountability.
Yeah, it's good.
So that's why I try to do it. My daughter is not a sleeper.
Right, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, she
Oh,
doesn't.
my
She
God.
do, So I'm sure most of your listeners know about some of Eli's struggles, but you were one of the first people I think I contacted months ago. Like, what do I do? Like, do I have to strap her down? Like, I did not strap down my child. Just so
I
you know.
did.
I
did.
wanted
Did you see
to.
the snoo?
The snoo. I know
snap
we
day.
were like this close from renting a snoo. I was like,
Don't
do
do
it.
it.
She
not
likes to
recommend.
just be on us since birth. I mean, night 2 was in the hospital was probably one of the worst nights of my entire life.
my
And I love her, but she needs, like, she wants to touch all the time and like
Yeah.
pull my hair out, baby hairs. Yeah. So because of that, she ends up, no mom shaming, in my bed a lot. So it makes it very difficult for me to wake up early to work out because if I'm up early, then she's going to wake up early.
Right.
And it's just like too early for her. So my habit is to get her to sleep so I can start waking up early and working out again.
Yeah.
That is when I'm like really
So tough.
striving to get back to. So, and I look at myself like, oh, hey, stuff. Okay, well, I'll see you soon. She's going to try, and she'll like try to pick up the weights. I'm like, well, I'm glad you're getting in a workout. With,
Yeah,
like,
that's hilarious. 10 months old and she's like, I got it, Mom.
She's
I
insane.
got it.
She's insane. If she could, she would.
They all are. Second children, man. Second
Really? Like,
children.
I was warned and didn't know the truth.
I wasn't warned. I was blindsided by Eli.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's very cute, but wow.
Wow, right? Like this one here. And again, please no mom shaming, but if this girl does not stop rolling her eyes and lifting her eyebrows, she is going to need Botox by like 30. Like you'll be like, Rosalie, don't do that. And she'll look at you like, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yes.
And then she does it. And I'm like, oh no, like, she doesn't listen.
No, there's no listening.
No
I will look
listening.
Eli dead in the eye and be like, do not do that. And he'll be like,
Yeah.
and he'll stare right back at me.
Don't eat the
while
dog
doing it.
food. We're still like, I don't think you'd like it, but she'll look at me as she's doing it and trying to run to get to her and then just shove it in her mouth. Oh my God, please stop doing that. Like, it's not, you don't even like it because then you make this face afterward. I think she's doing it to rebel.
Yeah. But I'm like, what are you rebelling against? You're the one who doesn't sleep.
Yeah. You're the one who's not
If
miserable.
anyone should be angry here, it's me.
Yeah. I don't know. Second kids, man. I was warned.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Insane. Nonprofit you love and support.
Obviously, community services for everyone. But ironically, I also do love Push Buffalo.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they do some really amazing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love Push. Favorite thing that you make?
Ooh. Like a food thing or like anything?
Anything.
I make, and if any Carrabba's people who used to come to my house hear this, you might know what I'm talking about. I used to make this awesome veggie pasta dish. I still make it once in a while. That had like hummus in it also.
Oh.
Yes, like I would roast the hummus to make almost like a paste in garlic oil, and then throw in like, I believe Victoria had this before. I throw in like mushrooms and spinach and like asparagus, anything that was in my house, and then toss in some like protein pasta.
Yeah.
Sometimes with or without chicken. Diana May will still say like, remember that pasta dish? And I'm like, I remember. She's like, I still think about that dish.
Oh my God.
It's been like 10 years. And I'm like, okay.
I want this pasta dish.
Yes, it's delicious.
Dang.
That, and Jackson calls them my mommy cookies, but it's my chocolate chip cookies. And they're pretty good.
That.
They are delicious.
Oh, I love a good chocolate chip cookie.
So basic, so good.
So basic, so good.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
No.
You know? Go to night out drink.
There's a few. Past life. A good glass of Malbec. Like, give me a nice red wine.
Yeah.
We're friends.
Yeah.
I like a hot and dirty.
Oh.
Yes.
What's a hot and dirty?
Hot and dirty. Alicia makes a great hot and dirty. It is Tabasco and vodka. It's a dirty martini, but you add some Tabasco to it.
Oh, wow.
With some blue cheese stuffed
Hot and
olives.
dirty, I get it.
Hot and dirty. So spicy, salty, boozy, delicious.
Yeah.
And I am a tequila girl.
Oh, same.
I was a Crown girl, and Crown and I have since split.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I wish Crown were all the best of luck. But tequila and I are new BFFs.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You gotta love tequila. Can't go wrong with
There's
that.
a picture from my vow renewal with my husband where we're like with this tequila bottle. Like, and I'm like, only us would have like, they're like, this is our bottle of tequila. Yeah. Good times.
Like it's your child or something.
Yeah, literally holding it up. And actually, we got married very quietly and then had a vow renewal the following year. And my cousin, who was amazing, did, officiated it. And he said, repeat this, da-da-da. And I went, what? And he was like, my sister's just, oh my God, because she knew I had like 3 shots of tequila. And I was like, I can't repeat that. Can you say it slower? Like in front of like all of our families. It's fine. Totally fine. Thank God there's no video.
You're still married, so.
Yeah, it's good.
That's
it's
all
good
that
luck.
Favorite mantra or affirmation?
One that's not appropriate, I can't say. I'll tell you it afterwards. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
Favorite I have a couple of them again. Woosah. Just
Yep.
Woosah. Calm blue ocean.
Yep.
Just and a good old Gone with the Wind. Tomorrow will be another day.
Love that.
But just start fresh tomorrow.
That's right. Podcast you highly recommend.
Hold on, let me pull these up. Obviously, mostly I'll figure it out.
Everybody's got to say it.
Yes.
Gotta do
And it's my Friday, part of my Friday routine.
it. I love it so much.
And then Chef Steph got me hooked on The Toast.
The Toast.
Used to be the Morning Toast, but now it's The Toast.
Okay.
If you haven't listened to it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please.
They are hilarious. And their husbands actually have one called The Good Guys.
Okay.
They're once a week. The Toast is every day. And I think they're on YouTube also.
Oh, wow. Every day.
Yeah. Yes. And they're funny. And then funny because it's true with Elise Myers. I love myself some Elise Myers.
I really didn't know she had a podcast.
Yes, it is fantastic. If anyone knows who Elise Myers is, it is her. Just her interviewing people and she'll like stop in the interview and be like, so what I was thinking in this moment was, and so it's super funny.
So great.
And I used to love this podcast called Wellness for Real. This woman Marlena did it, and they did their last episode a little while back. But I'm still listening to episodes that I missed out on.
Yeah.
And it is just very in-your-face truth about like women's health in general, healthy eating, but like a no fluff, like factual, like let's get to it.
Awesome. Wellness for real.
Wellness for real.
Cool.
Yeah.
For real. All the music in the world is gone except for the music from one artist or band. Who would you pick?
Carole King.
Carole King.
Carole King. Give me some Tapestry.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. What is a hobby or interest you have that you think most people would know about you?
Photography. Would or would not?
Would not.
People from like my former life would know. Probably photography. That people don't know that I studied it for a really long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know that.
Yeah. I did my internship in high school. It was my bat mitzvah theme.
Wow.
It was photography.
I love
That's how I got into makeup.
Really?
Yeah, because I would go out and shoot, and then if I did, people would say, like, oh, I need to get my makeup done. And I always thought makeup was so interesting
Yeah.
that you could really, like, change someone's face with just makeup.
It's
So I
crazy.
kind of dug into that a little bit more. And,
That's
love
cool.
photography. I still look at it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. One day I'll make my basement have a dark room. One day. Bucket list.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
It's like future bucket
Yeah,
list.
down the line.
Yeah.
It's good to have things to look forward to.
One day.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you're still doing makeup now, right?
Yes.
You said?
Yes.
Yeah. So who are you? Do you mostly do like brides and stuff, or do
For
you?
the most part, I've kind of moved away from people doing shoots. You know, people, Dominique, a lot of times I would do stuff with them when they would do different photo shoots. And other people would call, like, oh, I have this going on. I don't really see all those people anymore, so now it's mostly wedding makeup.
Yeah.
But I don't do, like, crazy makeup. I always say if you just kind of want to look polished, like, oh, like, you woke up and you could say, like, I want my face to feel fresh.
Yeah.
I'm
Refreshing.
a person. Yeah, refreshing. Not
Yeah.
without someone, like, licking your face.
Yeah.
If you want, like, crazy eyebrows and, like, something nutty and not look like yourself, I'm not your person.
Got it.
But if you just want someone natural,
Yeah.
you want to look like and feel like you, but just, like, the best way you want to feel, then I'm your
Yeah.
person.
Love that. That's cool. Favorite place you've ever visited?
Capri, Italy.
Oh.
I was just talking about that today, so it's an easy question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you love most about it?
Color.
Yeah.
It was like colors that you have seen but didn't know they really existed. Like water that you're like, the water really can look like that. The fish can look like that in the water.
Yeah.
Like the sand can look like that. Even stone and brick can be those colors. This sounds so goofy, but that's like another bucket list to get back there.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to go there. I'd love to go to Italy.
Just Amalfi Coast.
Yeah. Amalfi
George
Coast.
Clooney, if you ever hear this podcast, I'll cook you a meal. Let us come stay for a night. So yeah, Amalfi
I'll
Coast.
do whatever you want, really.
Yeah, we're like
Anyways, will the Bills win the Super Bowl in
obviously
2023?
season ticket holder, 10 years.
That's
yes,
right.
yes.
That's
Go
fun.
Bills.
What's like the craziest game experience you've ever had?
Probably ones I don't remember because that's always a good sign of a good game.
Right.
We've had some cool ones. Like I've definitely been able to hang out with some cool like Bills Mafia people, like well known. Actually, one of our managers at one of our day haps, like the nicest human being, this guy Ryan French, is like super well known Bills Mafia dude. Like shirtless in the freezing cold, like snow, doesn't
Insane.
care. He's amazing. I don't know. I've been to so many really cool games. I would have to say that every time I go is a cool experience.
Yeah.
Because it's just people being happy.
Yeah.
Even when they lose, they're like, we lost, but we're together. We love each other. There's no politics. People aren't stressed out about, like, what they don't think about the next day.
Yeah.
They just are there to support something that has to do with your city and where you live.
Yeah.
And, like, people they don't know. Like,
Yeah.
we don't know these players. I mean, they're in the
Right.
community, but, like, I'm not calling Josh Allen saying, like, hey, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
but you get to support something that's just, that's what I love sports in general for that reason.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that camaraderie of, like, we're here together.
Yeah. I don't think I fully felt that or understood that until my husband's soccer season this year. And I was like invested. I mean, I cried every single game.
That's amazing. See, true support, though.
It's just like, it's like I will go to see musicals. Like if I go to Shays or somewhere, on Broadway or whatever to go see a show, I am the person that's like crying through the whole show because I'm looking at the person like singing, and when they hit a note, I'm like, oh my God, they worked so hard to like make this happen and like do this. And I just like feel extreme empathy for the actors themselves, And that's how I was watching Ryan's games. Like, girls, I'd see like these girls get their first goal of the season and be like, oh my God, she wanted this so bad. Like that was like her fourth go at like a really good shot and she finally got it in, and like, it's like.
And knowing that the person that you are doing life with is a part of that experience too, like does make it personal. Like,
yeah,
like
it's a whole other thing.
It's inspiring them to be better versions of themselves.
Yeah.
And it's such a cool experience.
Yeah, and it's so cool to see him too because I know how hard he works and I know how much this game in general means to him. So to see him get the validation that he knows what he's doing.
Coach of the year.
Yeah, Coach of the year. I'll say it again. So yeah, I get it now. I really get it now.
And if you think about it, and this is so corny, and you can cut this out if you need to, like sports and musicals are still watching a show.
Yeah.
Like you're still watching.
That's so true.
I mean, you're still watching people dress up to do something that they've worked their lives to do.
Right.
They so you
practice,
can both practice.
Yeah.
Trying to be their best version of things that they've dreamed about. They're both still, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
That's really, that's it.
And it's insane.
Yeah.
And I love both of them.
It's insane. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast, Meredith.
Thank you for having me.
This has been absolutely wonderful. And I hope you have a nice holiday.
I hope you do too. I hope you have a good trip.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be great. I don't know. I'm not sure. You'll either be this week or next week, which means nothing to people who are listening. You're listening to it now. So I don't know which Friday you'll be on yet, but either this week or next week.
Surprise.
Yes, it'll be a little surprise. I'll let you know. But yeah, the holidays are coming quick, and this trip is coming quick, so there's a lot of stuff happening. So it's exciting.
And you're gone for 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Amazing.
Yes.
It's going to be...
Fingers crossed.
It's not your first time going, correct?
It's not my first time. It'll be my second time, but I was pregnant with Jackson.
So it's their first time?
7 years ago. Yeah, that's first
amazing.
What I know.
So you're going to... Maybe not on the podcast, but I would love to know what your experience is, seeing it through their eyes.
Yeah.
I just want to, did they notice things that you're like, how did I miss it last time?
Yeah. No, definitely. It's going to be completely different for so many reasons, but I plan to take so many videos of, them interacting. And I'm most excited. They're going to meet their granddad for the first time. They're going to get to hang out with their cousins.
So cool.
So I'm just really excited to see those relationships, start.
Yeah. How fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear about this.
So thank you for listening to us today. We hope you have a lovely holiday as well. And I'll be back in a week with another episode. I don't know who's next. You'll see. We'll find out. And follow at Mostly All Figured Out on Instagram. Even though I'm so shit at posting on it, it will get better. Hopefully. That's probably going to be one of my New Year's goals. One of my New Year's things is really getting better about posting. That's it. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, there's a few things you can do to really help your girl out. Please subscribe, rate the podcast, give me a little review. All those things really do help me in a lot of ways. And this year, I'm really trying to expand my reach. I'm trying to get this podcast in front of more people who might need it. My people, our people. So let's keep growing this beautiful community of nice people who are just trying to be their best selves. So if you know someone who might like it, please send them the link. Share it in your stories. Tag us. Which is another thing you can do, actually. If you're not already, please follow us on Instagram at Mostly All Figured Out. I've actually been very good about posting new episodes every Friday, so you can see who is up. You can get some little previews, sneak previews with some sound bites that we post throughout the week. And it really helps, again, in expanding our reach a little bit and getting us out there in front of more people. So thank you for doing that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting. Love ya.